ourselves. I know and you know that there might be a lot of things that are wrong with our spirituality. There are a lot of things that are wrong with our private lives. Many of us are spiritually dead and empty. What do I mean by that? Me and you both know that we feel this type of emptiness in our hearts, especially in today's day and age, with the emergence of social media. Ask yourself this question. If you were to move away from the phone, how would you feel? Yesterday in Green Lane Masjid, Birmingham, I said to them, take the acid test. You know what the acid test is? Leave your phone at home and go for a walk. And see if you start shaking like a knee, right? To see as to whether you're an addict or not. If you don't react like that, then you are good, you're healthy. However, if you can't control yourself and you start agitating and fidgeting, then you are in need of rehab. Not the rehab for the one who's a drug addict, no, different type of rehab. And especially with the month of Ramadan around the corner, it's important that we start this rehabilitation right now. Right? The point that I'm trying to make, my brothers and my sisters, some of us clearly know that there is an issue with us. There is the emptiness. We have a deep hole inside of our hearts. However, you know what we do? To cover these underlying problems that we have, we turn to different distractions to distract our minds from the reality. One of these distractions is the phone. How many a time do we find ourselves just scrolling, right? You want to go to sleep, you are what? Holding your stomach like that because you know you are feeling sick. You know you're feeling empty and distraught, right? But you turn towards some of these distractions to cover some of these underlying issues. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, right? We are suffering. Right? There's a lot that I would mention pertaining to social media. However, this is not our topic today. Our topic is to ensure that this month that is round the corner, we utilize and take away optimum and maximum rewards. A lot of us, we are crying out for this lifeline, this opportunity of Ramadan to flip our lives around. Yesterday when I was walking, I ran into a brother with a very, very nice car, right? And he looked to me, he stopped the car, I don't know who he is, and he said, brother, please, I really need to talk to you, as I want to flip my life around this Ramadan. I kind of had an idea of what he does, right? Looking at his car, and I could see deep in his eyes that he had enough. Brothers and sisters, I speak to a lot of drug dealers, they're my friends. Not like that. Not like that, guys. We have conversations, we talk, right? A lot of these drug dealers, brothers and sisters, they're tired. There's only so much that money can do for you. You're driving the latest cars, you're hanging around with women that are, what do they call them? Tens, 10 tens, or the high value lady. What is it, alpha female, or is that only for alpha males? Someone says something. This guy mumbles something and then he's hiding. He's got everything that many youngsters today would love to have. We look at a lot of these YouTubers and think, oh wow, he's living the life. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha ghayru, brothers and sisters. And I've heard them say it with these 2 ears that I have. A lot of these YouTubers that you see, they are spiritually dead and empty, depressed. Right? Have you guys heard of Susie Tube? First Troop, right? First Troop recently, just before his boxing match, they asked him, how are you feeling? Did anyone see that clip going around? Huh? I think I've said it before as well, right? Just before the boxing match, they're asking him, how do you feel? He says, I stopped drinking alcohol. It's a Muslim, by the way, right? It's a Muslim who has announced his apostasy more than once. Sahih? Every now and again, I don't even watch these guys, but the videos somewhat appear on my, I've left Islam, he says. Other times he's saying, I've got bipolar. Other times he's saying, I'm depressed. And it's not clickbait. The guy is actually suffering from that. But they're asking him now, just before his boxing match, how are you feeling? He goes, I stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped consuming and abusing drugs. I stopped masturbating. I stopped watching adult content. Right? And I'm on top of my salah, on top of my prayers, and I couldn't feel any better. Right? A lot of these guys, my brothers and my sisters, they're soul searching, they're confused. I get messages from time to time on Instagram by some of these guys who have blue ticks. Verified tick? Utainia doesn't have that yet. The blue ticks, it shows you're certified and you're verified. I only have that on Twitter. But everyone gets on Twitter now. But the point of the matter is, these brothers, they message. And a couple of, sentences in, he's sending the emoji, the yellow emoji with the tears? That's the emoji that he's sending. And he's saying, please help. Right? You look at his profile and you think to yourself, subhanAllah, this guy has all the girls, he's got cars, looks like he's living a life, he's got the bling, whatever, that they flash around. And then he's messaging me. He doesn't want my clout, he doesn't want me to give him a shout out or anything like that. But he's saying, please help. Right? He's sad and he's depressed. Some of these guys, they laugh, they smile in front of the camera, but then they cry themselves to sleep. Right? I know there are brothers and sisters sitting here, deep inside, they are suffering. And they're crying out for help. This Ramadan, my brothers and my sisters, it's a lifeline. It's an opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throws our way for us to really flip our lives around. Something very important I forgot to mention. Just make sure I come back to this part, right? And this is specifically to the sisters. You may be someone who comes to the masjid all the time. I wanted to mention this right at the beginning, but I forgot. However, today you're going to see certain sisters coming to the masjid that normally don't come. Many of them might not even wear the hijab, but today they're wearing the hijab for the first time. And you, my sister, who comes to the masjid regularly, you're not used to seeing a sister like that walking into the masjid. Please don't make that sister feel uncomfortable. And likewise to the brothers. You may see a brother dressed a certain way, right? His hair might be a certain way, might be wearing a cap a certain way. And what happens is, sometimes people of religiosity, they start giving these guys these looks, these sisters these looks, making them feel so uncomfortable, as if they are more entitled to the masjid than the sister who has walked in not wearing a hijab, or who has walked in wearing jeans. Fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Don't make her feel uncomfortable. The masjid is not mine, the masjid is not yours, the masjid is not owned by the imam. It is the Bayt of Allah, the house of Allah. That's last time I checked, it says house of Allah, Baytullah. Are you brothers and sisters with me? MW13KOE. A lovely Merc. Yes? Don't stare him down, guys, There's always one guy, he gets up and everyone's staring him down. He's moving the car. Did everybody get that? I want the masjid to become a place where, a woman who just walked out of the club, she's walked out of the club, I want her to feel comfortable to walk inside. Inshallah ta'ala, if I can establish that kind of message going around. Because yesterday, subhanAllah, as we're walking, You know, the program that I gave, my sisters went, they walked into the masjid. I'm like, alhamdulillah, mission accomplished. To have people who are not maybe practicing walking into the masjid, I would pay them to walk into the masjid, but now they're coming for free. So don't make them feel uncomfortable, guys. Right? So anyways, going back to the point that I was making, where was I? Huh? The month of Ramadan is an opportunity that Allah Azza wa Jalla throws your way to flip your life around. There are two kinds of people that I want to bring to your attention, brothers and sisters. You have the first type who uses the month of Ramadan as a stepping stone. This is when he or she starts practicing. Right? A sister might start wearing hijab in the month of Ramadan. You know what? The Messenger ﷺ said the shayateen are locked up, right? When the month of Ramadan enters, إذا دخل شهر رمضان فتحت أبواب الجنة وغلقت أبواب النار وسلسلة الشياطين. When the month of Ramadan enters, the doors of Jannah are soon open, the doors of hellfire are slammed shut, and the shayateen are locked up. The seal has been set. It's a stepping stone for them, and they use that as an opportunity to better themselves. For you to refer to that sister as a Ramadan Muslim, you are gravely mistaken. We do that sometimes, right? Oh, this sister, she only comes along once a year. Inshallah, blue moon, what are you doing in the masjid, sister? Huh? Or this brother that you've never seen. You only see him in the masjid in the month of Ramadan. Again, we're staring it down. Huh? This self-religiosity and entitlement that we have to places of worship, guys. Right? Wallahi, that actually might be a reason that you, Mr. Righteous, ends up falling off the religion. Did you know that? Shaykh Abdul Aziz bin Baz will say this. One of the main causes of one falling off the religion is to walk past an individual thinking, you are better than him. Looking down at the people, بَطَرُ الْحَقِّ وَغَمْتُ النَّاسِ. When the Prophet ﷺ was asked about arrogance, he said to look down at the people and to reject the truth. Huh? Remember, my brothers and my sisters, you're nobody. I'm a nobody. Right? The moment you passed away, and I recently had this reminder, it really touched me, it stuck with me. When you pass away, you are reduced and relegated to a nobody. Right? You are relegated to a body. Bring the body, put down the body. Huh? Move the body, go wash the body. Get the body now, let's take him to the grave. And now bury the body. You don't even have a name anymore. You don't even have a name anymore, guys. People refer to you as the body. Sahih? Next time you are at the janazah, pay attention to it. Does anyone say, oh, bring Muhammad, bring Abbas, bring Abu Bakr? Let's take Abu Bakr now to the grave. You are nobody. Right? We are relegated and reduced to a body. Right? So there are people like that who use the month of Ramadan as a stepping stone, which is very, very good. I'll tell you guys a story very quickly. Where's Sheikh Saeed? Tell me if you heard this story before. I have a relative, good friend of mine, who's a drug dealer. He said a couple of Ramadans ago that I'm going to say you heard this before. Huh? I don't really got a private joke, that's why I'm asking that question. Huh? He said a couple of Ramadans ago, khalas, I'm going to stop drug dealing and I'm going to cut off my girlfriend. Khalas. Finish. Said, you're done. Huh? Finished. Don't talk to me. I'm going to worship Allah and I'm going to change my life around. He starts practicing. His iman goes sky high. Why? Why does his iman go sky high? Because he's fasting in the day and then he's what? Praying in the night. Sometimes we ask ourselves the question, why is it literally on the day of Eid? People say this to me all the time. My iman's not the same on Eid. It was like this, and then Ramadan, it was sky high and Eid just dropped again. Why do I feel again like so, distraught and miserable inside? I'll tell you guys. So he's doing amazing. I remember, there was even one day I led Taraweeh in Masjid Aisha in North London, and he was there. He was going around. It's a drug dealer, guys. Gets the phone call on the night of Eid. Just to let you guys know, The shaitan, works in a very, very subtle way. He's not going to say to you, Muhammad, Abbas, Abu Bakr, Sa'id, right? This is haram, go and do it. He's not going to say that. وَقَاسَمَهُمَا إِنِّي لَكُمَا لَمِنَ النَّاصِحِينَ. That's exactly what he did with Adam and Eve. Just to make it very clear, not Adam and Steve, It's Adam and Eve, right? He told them to go and eat from the tree. Go and eat from the tree. And once you eat from it, you will be in Jannah forever and ever. And Allah told him not to go anywhere near it. So he gets a phone call from that girl that he was with. Look, he says, can you come over? I want to talk to you about making it halal. I want to talk to you about making it halal. My sisters, I'm going to have a go at the brothers now. Makes you all of these false promises, we will get married. I'll be your Prince Charming, right? And you'll be my Princess Charming, my Romeo and my Juliet, Majnun Layla. All of these false promises that he makes you, my sisters. And then, after he's chewed you like a piece of chewing gum and spat you out, he just moves on to the next one. The guy who really wants you is going to what? Go straight to your dad. He's not going to what? Creep through the window. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Sorry to end your relationship there. My brothers and my sisters. That's a phone call that he got. Wallahi al-Azim, my cousin, I sat down with him in the park. And he broke down into tears. He said, as soon as I drove down, parked up, within a couple of minutes, we committed zina in the back of the car. You know what he said to me? And this is a drug dealer saying this. He said, my iman that was so sky high, literally went crashing down into the ground. Everything that I worked so hard for in the month of Ramadan just went straight down the drain. Reminds me of the hadith when the Prophet said, لا يزني الزاني حين يزني وهو مؤمن. When you carry out this major sin, at the time of doing a zina, what happens? Your iman is uplifted from you. That iman that went sky high will be what? Uplifted from you. And then unfortunately you're back to square one, miserable. Right? You find people that are extremely rich and wealthy, filthy wealthy. Right? They start consuming drugs, they begin to gamble, they begin to, my brothers and my sisters, turn to alcohol to cover up the underlying issues. They are distraught, they are miserable, spiritually dead and empty. That's why also, just to point out, I know Southampton are not doing the best at this moment in time in the Premier League. But the Premier League, right, is a $1 billion industry, right? $1 billion industry. Football is a $1 billion industry. Why are they making so much money? Because they are feeding off our depression and our sadness. It is there to distract you guys. All of these things that you see that are $1 billion industries are there to distract your mind. Agreed? They're there to distract your mind. That's why it's making so much money. Take away all of these industries, whether it's the entertainment industry, Amazon, Netflix, Hollywood, Bollywood, Somaliwood, take it all out of the equation, right? The adult content industry, the gambling industry, the, what do you call it? The games industry. What kind of life do you think a person will live? They're all there to distract you, brothers and sisters. They're all there to distract you. Right? Anyways, the point I was making, my brothers and sisters, when an individual now carries out these sins, he turns to these distractions now to fill that void. He's looking for fulfillment. He's looking, my brothers and my sisters, for, right, that satisfaction that can't be bought with money. Right? Ramadan, my brothers and my sisters, inshallah ta'ala, is going to change that for us. Right? And that's because, my brothers and my sisters, the scene has been set. Let me break it down for you now, guys. A lot of us, we think that Ramadan is to stay away from what? What do we need to stay away from? Food, drink, and what else? Huh? 5 star. Bad stuff, like?
Haram things.
What are some of the things that are going to nullify your fast, guys? Sexual intercourse, women, good. I've said that. Being intimate with your wife. Sahih? And there's other things also that are going to what? Invalidate your fast. Inshallah ta'ala, we will speak about another time. There's that aspect of things, and there's another important aspect which is extremely, extremely important, guys, that many of us are oblivious and unaware of.
Parents.
Huh?
Disrespecting your parents.
Sorry?
Disrespecting your parents.
Good, we'll come on to that. So you have that which is going to nullify your fast, and then you have the spiritual aspect, guys. It's very, very important. And that is, brothers and sisters, that which is going to cause the reward of your fasting to decrease up until you might walk away with absolutely nothing. There's a narration which is fabricated. You know what the narration is? So funny. It says, صمت الصائم تسبيح ونومه عبادة. You being quiet while fasting, it is what? Like you saying Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. And then you going to sleep is ibadah. You see this narration going around on WhatsApp every year. Huh? Someone thinks, oh, okay, I'm going to have a whole night out. I'm going to sleep throughout the whole day. He wakes up half an hour before iftar, says, Alhamdulillah. Huh? I managed to make it, right? Because normally you get tired. We kill time in the month of Ramadan. That's the attitude that some of us have. Sahih? Let's kill time. So the hours go, and then just before iftar, we sit there making dua. Brothers and sisters. And he looks at this hadith thinking, oh, khalas, I was in ibadah anyway, I was sleeping. No, he wasn't, guys. The hadith is fabricated. It's mawdu'. Rather, my brothers and my sisters, as Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu mentioned, and this is very, very important, guys. إذا صمت فليصم سمعك وبصرك ولسانك عن الكذب والمآثم. When you fast, make sure that your ears are fasting. Make sure that your eyes are fasting. Make sure that your tongue is fasting as well. From what? From lying and all types of sins. Who can give me the objective of fasting that is mentioned in the Quran? What are we trying to attain from fasting? Who can give me the evidence? Go on, someone. What are we trying to acquire from fasting? Jameel, what's the evidence for it? جميل فتح الله عليك. الله said in the Quran, يا الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Right? Indeed, fasting has been prescribed upon you, made an obligation upon you and those who came before you. لعلكم تتقون. Perhaps you might become someone who is what? Conscious of Allah. Someone with taqwa. Someone who's God-fearing. Wallahi guys, I would love to go into my Instagram and read out, wallahi al-azim, read out messages from both brothers and sisters who have message in saying, brother, I feel ashamed of myself. Sisters are saying, I've become impregnated. I don't know what to do. I feel so distraught inside. Right? I know I shouldn't have done it. Countless messages that I receive, especially on my Fitnagram. You know Instagram? Fitnagram. I would love to read it out. And they're so distraught. Right? People wish that they could what? Be individuals who are what? God-fearing and conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people who are practicing once upon a time, they went to these universities that are breeding grounds for kufr, shirk, fahisha. Everything is inviting you to haram, haytalak, let's get it on. Everything is so cheap, to go clubbing is so cheap. It's breeding grounds for all of this stuff. And then they fall into it, and then they find themselves in this state. And deep inside they know that. They would wish to become individuals, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. I become a God-fearing individual. And it comes with a fulfillment and a satisfaction that, like I said before, you can't buy with money. How is it, my brothers and my sisters, a student of knowledge who might be abroad, barely has anything, studying in Medina, he gets what? 150, 70 pounds. But he is so happy. He's not doing one fight back. He is so happy and satisfied in his life. And that is because he has deen. And that is because he has what? Deen. He does what Allah told him to do, and that comes with a blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal showers upon it. Right? People wish to become like that. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So anyways, going back to the point that I was making, Jabir ibn Abdullah said, when you fast, make sure your ears are fasting. Make sure your eyes are fasting. Make sure also your tongue is fasting. From what? From lying and sins. I honestly believe, and you don't have to agree with me, that if one now manages to control these three things, he will become a saint. He will become a beloved servant of Allah Azza wa Jal. Because think about it for a moment. Let me stimulate your minds, brothers and sisters. A lot of the sins that we fall into, especially in today's day and age, which body parts carries out the sin?
The heart.
Let's be honest here. A lot of the sins that we fall into today, which body part is actually falling into the sin?
The eyes.
Oh, exactly. The eyes because of what? Because of what? How? What eyes? What would you do? Huh? The eyes what? He said, yes, shahwa, awra, looking at things that you shouldn't be looking at. That's become so easy. Through what?
Social media.
The ears likewise. Huh? We might be watching TV. I think I have some more thing. Huh? Likewise the ears. We're watching TV, we become so desensitized to that. Musical instruments and the tones. Huh? You know, brothers and sisters, as I'm walking out, you guys might say to me, brother, there's a different opinion on music. Huh? Brother, you're a little bit extreme. Brother, you're out of touch with reality. Now that I mention music, first and foremost, I have no doubt in my heart that music is haram. Secondly, let me ask you a question. I think the Sheikh put it so nicely when I heard it from him. He said, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you go off with the opinion that it's what, music is alright, let me ask you a question. If I make this dua now, I want you to say Ameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you die upon La ilaha illallah. Let me ask you another question. Let me make another dua. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the last thing that you say before you die, right? A lyric of Kanye West. You want to say Ameen? I ask Allah that the last thing that you say is a Bollywood or Bollywood tune. Or some of these things that you have in Bollywood weddings. Huh? Anyone want to say Ameen? I could go into the evidence why it's haram, why you shouldn't do it, and this and that. But you want to die like that? Is that the last thing that comes out of your mouth? You might go fatwa shopping and you find, oh, you know, there's a view out there. Someone said, oh, it's, you know, is that what that guys? No. على كل حال, the ears, the eyes, and then the tongue. All of these are what entrances to the heart. That ends up blackening it. That ends up blackening it. A for alpha, K for kilo, 1, 2, Z for Zulu, C for Charlie, and X for X-ray. Your car is blocking out this forward. Don't stare down, guys. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, my brothers and sisters?
Yes.
All of these are madakhil, they are entrances to the heart that eventually will end up destroying it. And if you manage to fix that, your heart, inshallah ta'ala, will be white and pure, cleansed. Right? And that's the pure heart that we are in need of. That's going to allow us to hold back from a lot of the filth that we might find ourselves tripping into. Right? Are you brothers and sisters with me? This is extremely, extremely important that we realize that. If you manage to control these three body parts, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, after Ramadan, you are going to take a positive direction towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The way I look at the month of Ramadan, no different to a boot camp. You guys know what boot camp is? You go to a boot camp, you're there for 30 days. You become a soldier. You become, mashallah, a tough guy, doing all types of exercises and routines. And then you come back with life skills. Not like today, guys, we have a lot of simps and all of that stuff. You become like a man. It depends which book you go to today. الشاهد من الكلام. Ramadan is like a boot camp. Or in other terms, maybe it is like your, what do you call it? Induction period, when you start work. For 2 weeks. What do? You learn the job, right? In order for you to leave after 2 weeks, I know some of you guys do that, right? You jump from one job to another because you're lazy, you don't sit there. 2 weeks training and then you get off. You picked up 2 weeks of wages. But the whole point is that you're there for 2 weeks, you learn the job and you continue. So hey, Ramadan's like that, guys. Ramadan is there for you to introduce new habits into your life and to get rid of bad ones. Okay, brothers and sisters. So now when you say, listen, I can't do this haram because it's Ramadan, I can't look at this adult content, I can't be laying my eyes on all of these girls on my Instagram, and vice versa as well, my sisters, equal rights, right? It is there for you to continue after the month of Ramadan. You know there's verses in Surah Al-Furqan, right at the end. They are the sifat of who? Who can tell me? Sifat ibad al-Rahman. The attributes and qualities of the righteous awliya of Allah. The righteous, close, beloved servants that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala daily loves. It gives a whole load of attributes. You know what the first attribute is? وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما. When the ignorant speak to them or they throw abuse at them, what is their response? Peace. What does Ramadan teach you? Not Ramadan, by the way, because Ramadan doesn't. It's Allah through Ramadan that you're taught. If someone now comes and insults you, what do you say to him? What's the sunnah?
اللهم إني صائم.
جزاك الله خير. إني صائم, I'm fasting, meaning, خلاص, look, stay away from me. I'm fasting. Can you see that? You pick up these skills in the month of Ramadan in the boot camp, in your induction period, your training period of your work, and then after Ramadan you continue it. And you're on your way now to becoming from the closest servants of Allah. That's the first verse. What's the second verse? وَالَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ سُجَّدًا وَقِيَامًا. Those who spend their nights in prostration, sujjadan, and also standing up in front of Allah. What does Ramadan teach you? What do we do at night? We pray. Taraweeh. Only for you what? To leave you after the month of Ramadan, guys? Wallahi, brothers and sisters, if we are not praying at night, we are indeed missing out. I'm not going to enforce upon you to wake up 3 a.m. in the morning or maybe half an hour before Fajr. Fajr is here what? I think it was 4:57 yesterday, right? Something like that. Or did I pray wrong? Huh? The Jama'ah, what time did we finish? 5:01. So did I pray outside the time? I prayed 5:20. To be safe. It's an hotel, guys. There's no message next to me. Shahid, to pray at night, to wake up before Fajr, it is a noble act. You have problems, you have issues, you want a wife with certain qualities and a certain type of hair, guys. Wake up and ask Allah. Imam Shafi'i said the dua that you make in the last third, it is like the arrow that doesn't miss its target. You guys with me? So we're learning, look, okay, how to respond to this individual who throws abuse at us, how to respond, to pray in the night, right? وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اصْرِفْ عَنَّا عَذَابَ جَهَنَّمَ إِنَّ عَذَابَهَا كَانَ غَرَامًا. The next verse now of the qualities of the awliya is what? To make dua. What does Ramadan teach you? What does Allah teach you through Ramadan? That you make dua. To make that sincere dua from the body, Ya Allah, help me change. Ya Allah, I'm tired of these sins that are destroying me. I am sick and tired of it. Ya Allah, help me. Did you know, my brothers and sisters, your du'as are being accepted? You know, 17 hours, it looks like a burden, right? Long. Every time you make dua while you're fasting, more of a reason for your dua to get accepted. Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said 3 people, those du'as don't get rejected. One of them is صائم حتى يفطر. The one who's fasting until he breaks it. And then you also have the ayah about وَالَّذِينَ أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا that talks about charity. Again, Ramadan. This is what we learn. So we are learning all of these things, guys, in the month of Ramadan. For us what? To stop on the day of Eid. That's the first type of person, guys. That uses the month of Ramadan as a stepping stone. To flip his life around. Then you have another person. This is very, very important, guys. That says, you know what, to his girlfriend, or she says to her boyfriend, listen, it's Ramadan, let's just what? Stay away from one another. I'll see you on the day of Eid. Or he tells his boys, I'll see you on the day of Eid. Is this guy stopping his sins because he's worshipping Allah or because he worships Ramadan? Ubay ibn Ka'b, or is it Ka'b ibn Malik, sorry. He said, من صام رمضان وهو يحدث نفسه أنه إذا خرج منه عسى الله فصيام عليه مردود. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan, telling himself that the moment Ramadan finishes, I'm going to disobey Allah, his fasting will be thrown back in his face. You know what's so sad, guys? So sad. Some of us, the last 10 nights of Ramadan, we are preparing the sins that we are going to engage in on the Eid. Agreed? What hotels to book? What cars to rent out? Which girl to meet up with? Where to do our party? Which club is going to be open? We need to enjoy ourselves. It's the day of Eid, man. Come on, brother. Stop being so harsh. It's just one night. I've done well for 30 days, man. Just one night, bro. It's as if you can see, subhanAllah, you know, the moment the sun sets on the day of Eid, sorry, the last day of Ramadan, I think it released. I don't know if you guys have a road here. Do you guys have a road here like Edge Road? From Birmingham, they have Navy Pool Road. Anyone from Birmingham? Do you guys have a road here, Sheikh, where everyone goes crazy and Chand Rod, they call it. That's how you guys call it. Chand Rod. They got one in Manchester as well. Anyone here been to Manchester? What was the road? I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys don't have an idea of what I'm talking about. One time I said Wilmslow Road on the minbar, the khutbah went viral. People just got excited over the road. Oh, it's a Wilmslow Road. Shared in al-kalam. On the day of Eid, guys, we destroy our Ramadan. The mindset is very, very important, guys. If you're staying away from your girlfriend or from your boyfriend, just because it's Ramadan you're going to go back to him on the day of Eid, fortunately, my sisters and my brothers, this is not the right Ramadan that we are engaged in. Right? The night of Eid, we're going crazy. And then in the morning when we wake up, on our way to the Eid prayer, I'm going to have a go at my sisters here, and to the brothers as well, who have maybe no protective jealousy over their women folk. Right? Some of our sisters, they go out, as if they're on their way to a fancy dress party, dressing to impress, layers after layers after layers on their face, BB cream, powder Kardashian, was it? Kardashian or whatever, putting this eyeliner on, Maryam no longer looks like Maryam. She's put 3-4 layers on her face. She's become a different person. On her way to the Eid prayer. Who on earth are we trying to impress? She might not even dress like her. She might not even do that for her husband. Whose attention is trying to grab? Right? Wallahi guys, almost instantly we can feel that effect on our hearts on the day of Eid. We've all been there, guys. And we've all wondered. And I want you guys to really focus on the day of Eid. No one is saying that you can't have fun. It's a day of food and drink. As they say in Urdu. Pet ki kush karo. And in Somali they say aroshak wa farhi. Right? Enjoy yourself in a halal way. But all that hard work may well be, my brothers and my sisters, that goes down the drain because of the day of Eid. Simply because our intentions were completely off as to why we started fasting in the month of Ramadan. Right? This is extremely, extremely important. That's so sad, guys. Last 10 nights, the greatest nights of the year, some of us are preparing, right, all the filth and evil we want to engage on in the day on the day of Eid. That's not fasting the month of Ramadan, guys. That's something else. And our brothers, our men, like, we have these women folk, we have daughters, we have wives, right? And then go, no, yeah, let's go dressed in dress and on the day of Eid. You know? أين الغيرة? Where's the protective jealousy? Right? It's like some of us men now want to flash our wives. Excuse me, guys, for really pressing some buttons here. Huh? This is a simple lifestyle. Do whatever you want. You want, okay, no problem. There's no boundaries whatsoever. Right? I believe it was Sheikh Al-Albani, and Allahu A'lam, whether he said it or not. But either way, it's a great statement when he said, when the protective jealousy died in men, modesty died in women. Say that again. When the protective jealousy died in men, right, modesty died in women. I want to say things, but I might get done over for being a misogynistic person. Huh? I'm a compassionate man, guys. That's for peace. That's why all the sisters, they come to my programs. Right? الشاهد من الكلام. I hope inshallah ta'ala that wasn't a misogynistic statement. It's a very important statement. Another important aspect that I really want to touch on, guys. Put your hand up if you want to be forgiven. We fast in the month of Ramadan, hoping to be forgiven by Allah. من صام رمضان ومن قام رمضان ومن يقم ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever fasts, whoever prays, whoever stands on the night of Al-Qadr with Iman, مصدقا بوعد الله, believing in the reward of Allah and doing it sincerely, his past sins will be forgiven. You want to be forgiven, right? Yes. Let me ask you this question. How many of us are ready to remove the grudges that we have in our hearts for other Muslims? Treat the people the same way you like to be treated. Right? Treat the people the same way you like to be treated. You know, there's a hadith of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. She came to the Messenger and she said, أرأيت, O Messenger of Allah, إن علمت أي ليلة القدر ما أقول فيها. If I come to know when Laylatul Qadr is, O Messenger of Allah, what would you advise me to say? Everyone's memorized this dua. Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you are afu. You love to pardon, Ya Allah, pardon me. I'm going to, inshallah ta'ala, mention something very, very important here, guys. This is a game changer. It could either what make or break your Ramadan. And it's hard. But the easy is not for the tough. Huh? And the righteous people. Nothing in life comes easy, guys. He says, Al-afu min asma'illah. Ibn Rajab, he says. Afu is from the names of Allah. Right? وَهُوَ يَتَجَاوَزُ عَنْ سَيِّئَاتِ عِبَادِهِ الْمَاحِي لِآثَارِهِ عَنْهُمْ. It is He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right, who forgives the sins that you fall into. It is He who erases the traces of these sins. وَهُوَ يُحِبُّ الْعَفُوَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla loves forgiveness and pardon. وَيُحِبُّ لِعِبَادِهِ أَنْ يَعْفُوَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَنْ بَعْضٍ. He loves for His servants to forgive and pardon one another. And look what He says. Here comes the catch. فَإِذَا عَفَى بَعْضُهُمْ عَنْ بَعْضٍ عَامِلْهُمْ بِعَفْوِهِ. Once they pardon and forgive one another, that's when Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to forgive them. When they pardon one another, that's when Allah is going to forgive them. So they are what? Correlated with one another. You forgive and pardon the people, Allah Azza wa Jalla will pardon you. We're going to be standing, Ya Allah, forgive me, I've done this, I've done that. But we are not ready to do the same. This is what the Prophet ﷺ told us as well. Irhamu turhamu, ighfiru yughfar lakum. Have mercy upon people, Allah will have mercy upon you. Forgive them and Allah will forgive you. You know the great Imam, Al-Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. And we can all take inspiration from this. He is the first out of the 4 great Imams of fiqh. You know when someone wronged him, does anybody know what he would do? Huh? Anyone know? Our brother said he was thank him. Something better than that. Anyone know? Hi, Jama'ah. These great Imams, right? These great Imams, they didn't become so great just because of knowledge or the fiqh that they had. Right? There was a deeper understanding they had with the religion that caused them to conduct themselves in a certain way. There may have been scholars in his time that were more knowledgeable than him. However, with the knowledge and the fiqh that he had, there was also other aspects that made them so wonderful and great. You know what you do? And let me know if you would do this. Whenever someone would wrong him, right? Whenever someone would wrong him, he would send them gifts. He would go and send them gifts. Huh, guys? Then we'll do that here. That guy is wrong, you go and send him gifts. That's not just an alim with ilm. That is an alim with suluk wal akhlaq. Right? He will send him gifts. The hearts tend to be a lot softer in the month of Ramadan, guys. Step on your ego, bite your tongue. Pick up that phone and make that call. You want your heart to become soft? Wallahi, brothers and sisters. Almost immediately, instantly, when you pick up that phone and you make that call, you bury the Hajj, wallahi, almost instantly you see it having an effect on your heart. A huge burden is uplifted from your shoulders. And that is because you bury the Hajj. And the best of the two is the one who starts with the salam. Are you brothers and sisters with me?
Yes.
I've been saying this a lot, right? I know families, they don't talk to one another. Imagine you have Muhammad and you have Umar as well. Muhammad, right, does not speak to his brother Umar. You know why? When Muhammad's daughter was getting married, Umar was the 3rd person to know. He was the 3rd person to know. Because he wasn't the first person to know, he's upset. He cuts off his brother. He stopped speaking to him. Pathetic, petty, trivial things like that. You see blood brothers not speaking to one another. Blood brothers. Imagine that, guys. Blood brothers, they stop speaking to one another. Ma alaikum. And then we're going to stand in night. Ya Allah, please forgive me. Ya Allah, I've wronged myself. Right? Ibn Qayyim says, Inna baynaka wa bayna Allahi khataya. La ya'lamuha illa Allah. Indeed, there are sins between you and Allah that nobody knows about. On the sins between us and Allah that no one knows about, guys. Does He expose us, guys? When we fall into these sins, does He expose us? How many sins do we carry out under that blanket? Does Allah expose us? Or does He keep it hidden? بينك وبين الله لا يعلمها إلا الله. And He says, فإذا أردت أن يحفو الله عنك فاعف عن الخلق. If you want Allah to forgive and pardon you, be ready to forgive and pardon others. Right? This, my brothers and sisters, may well, make or break of us. Some of the scholars, they say there was no benefit from forgiving others and pardoning them other than the fact that you are able to go to sleep peacefully. That would have been enough of a benefit. When you've cleared your feelings, you removed any of these grudges, see how you feel before you go to sleep. And I would say, if there was only one bad thing about holding grudges, which is when you go to sleep you hold, or you have that tightness inside of your chest, it would have been enough of a bad characteristic or a trait to have. Agreed, my brothers and my sisters? Are we not feeling that discomfort when we go to sleep and we just got into an argument or a back and forth? It left a bitter taste in our mouths. And brothers and sisters with me? Right? To conclude, my brothers and my sisters, before we have that 3-minute break, then I'm only going to go on for another maybe 10, 15 minutes. Yeah? Millennials, Gen Z, the Gen Z generation came after the millennials, right? Is that what they call them? They call Gen Z, right? So what's the other one, the one that come after? Huh? Brothers and sisters, I want to go into the practical side of things. I've been saying this a lot. It's all good delivering a lecture, right? Feeling a little bit better. It's like you've got a buzz or an injection, and then it's just going to what? Go back down again. These lectures are no different to a consumption of paracetamol. Does paracetamol deal with the underlying issues? Some of us, we need the operation. That's why we have Saturday night surgery today in Masjid Rahmah. I want you all to come, inshallah. Saturday night surgery, and we're going to have an extensive Q&A. Operation. And just to point out, the sisters, if you guys have any questions, me do it, inshallah, in Masjid Rahmah. And I have a 10-minute, 15-minute reminder also. What's the masjid called?
Medina.
Medina Masjid after Asr. I think it's 4:30. Just for 10 minutes, and then we'll go to Masjid Rahmah. We're going to learn, inshallah, how to become an awliya. These lectures are no different to paracetamol. Operation, you know what the operation is, guys? To seek knowledge. When we learn more about our deen, the more we are in a position to worship Allah accordingly and to stay away from the sins. Put your hand up if you came to the lecture that I gave about Surah Yusuf last time round in the university. I think 5-6 people. I did a university tour where I went past 27 universities around the country. Some of these colorful people, they tried to shut my programs down. It didn't work. I needed blue-haired feminists. They failed. Anyways, we spoke about Surah Yusuf, and we took a lot of benefits from it. A lot of the brothers around the country, they would say they became extremely inspired and whatever have you. Right? That is an example of going through a bit of knowledge. It taught us how to navigate around the doubts that are stripping our youngsters of their faith and their identity, and also how to stay away from the shahawat, the desires and the temptations of this world. We are in need of knowledge, my brothers and sisters. Right? And that's the operation that we're in need of. Right? How do we now move away from a lot of this filth that we might be so engaged in? Guys, number one, we have to learn about our deen. Is it fair, guys? Wallah, is it fair? And I say this as someone who was doing civil engineering, right? We know calculus, there is. Calculus, right? Did that once upon a time. Pythagoras theorem. A squared plus B squared equals what? C squared. Huh? What's the other thing called? Periodic table. C2O, H2O. Huh? We know it inside out. Imagine once upon a time, you know, I would hold the Quran, I was holding it, I was memorizing it. Huh? Memorizing the periodic table. We know all of this inside out. Evaporation, condensation, alliteration, and all of the other shations that we have. We know it, mashallah, tabarakallah. Brothers and sisters, when it comes to the basics of our religion, we have no idea. And then we become shocked and surprised that when our children come home, well, like the other day, a friend of mine was sitting with each other in Leicester, and he said to me, bro, it's funny that you say this. Just the other day, my son came home, I think he's what, 6 or 7 years of age. Came home, and he said, Dad, in RE, we learned about the Buddhists, they have a God. Hindus have a God. Jesus is another God for the Christians. And the Muslims have a God. Oh, there's a lot of gods, Dad, right? Which one do we worship? Wallahi alayhi, 3 weeks ago I heard this morning is, and then Dad goes like, you know, I was sitting down and we started talking. They are indoctrinating our children there, guys. Huh? Indoctrinating our children. You know, it's even more than that. Huh? The Rainbow team are extremely active there. Very, very active. 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. Let me make it very clear, just in case you have someone here that works for Channel 4. Right? I am not here inciting violence or harassment. I'm just stating facts. That happens. Nothing else. I spread peace and compassion. Right? We're not here to incite violence or anything towards anyone, towards any minority group. Right? This is the reality on the ground. This is what's happening, my brothers and my sisters. Right? 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, this is exactly what's happening. And then we are sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves, not learning about our religion, when our children's identity is being ripped away from them. The only way we can tackle all of this is with knowledge. Not by getting upset and angry, no! I've been telling some of our communities, a child comes home and asks you a question and you get angry. Why are you getting angry for? Some parents might even, Sheikh. Yeah. Are you brothers and sisters with me? They start beating up their children because he's asking questions about atheism. Why? Why are you getting upset for? Why are you getting angry? Why should you get angry? We took them to these schools and now they've become so polluted and indoctrinated and they're coming back with all of these questions and you're getting upset. Or you get the Iraqi. Huh? The sheikh to come out, my son's got jinn. No, he doesn't have jinn. He just doesn't know. That's why he's asking these questions. Right? So we have to learn, my brothers and my sisters. We have to. My brothers and my sisters, second point that I want all of you guys to do. And before I forget, and I should have said this right at the beginning, I just really want to thank the administration of this. Shaykh Wallahi, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank our imams for facilitating this beautiful program. Honestly, I didn't even know that this many Muslims live in Southampton. I just thought it was that rubbish team, Southampton. That are here. Sorry if you're a Southampton fan. At the bottom of the table. Someone said to me, rubbish, like the bottom of the table.
They beat Leicester.
But we won the Premier League, right? We won the Premier League. Wallah, I didn't know. I went to the university before. I went to Masjid Rahman. Honestly, I feel absolutely, pleasure to be in Masjid Abu today, and then to see all these Muslims come together. SubhanAllah, I really didn't know Southampton was like that. So for our imams and mashayikh, the idara, to put this together, it has a very deep place in my heart. Jazakumullah khair.
Yeah.
Second practical thing I want you guys to do, brothers and sisters, I want you all to get a piece of paper, and if you want to buy a fancy pen with it as well, do that, and put it near your bedside tonight. Everyone has to do this. I do this as well, guys. Write down, what are some of the things that I want to start doing in the month of Ramadan, which I should start with today. How many days left to the beginning of Ramadan? 11. You know, my brothers and sisters, I look at Ramadan and I seem to be no different to a car. What happens when you get into a car? Does anyone in their right mind put the gears into gear 5 straight away? Or gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, and then you put your foot down on the motorway. Not here, on the motorway. You put your foot down. From the common questions that I get every single Ramadan from Muslims just like you and me, brother, this is the 20th night or the 25th night. People are saying, I feel like I've not benefited from this month. I feel like I haven't done anything. Right? I feel like I've absolutely done nothing. Wasted my Ramadan. I've been trying to get into that routine, but I couldn't. You know what the solution to that is? To start before the month of Ramadan. And we still have another 10 days. What did the Messenger used to do in the month of Ramadan? In the month of Sha'ban, the month that we're in right now. What did he used to do?
Fast.
Fast. Why? To get his body into that routine. Not that he needed to, he was extremely strong. He was extremely strong. But he would do that for what? To show me and you that you need to hit the ground running in the month of Sha'ban if you want to benefit from the month of Ramadan. This is why those who read the salawat, they start their Taraweeh prep now. That's why I was there at the beginning just practicing with you guys. Because it gets very, very shaky at the beginning, Sheikh knows. Taraweeh is not easy. You can be mutqin, you can be solid, but when it comes to the minbar, legs get a little bit shaky. Pressure gets to you. So it's good to practice beforehand. So you get that pen and paper, guys, and you write down the schedule. Every day something little that you want to do. And you stick to that schedule. So when Ramadan kicks in, inshallah ta'ala, you hit the ground running straight away.
Sure.
Please guys, every single one of you buy that pen and paper. I want you to get another paper as well. You know when you write on these papers? You write down all of your sins. If you want to buy a safe as well to lock that inside so no one else finds out, great. Mom might walk in trying to clean your dirty room and then she sees that. And she said, my son, Get that paper, guys, write down your sins. And also write down next to it what is causing you to fall into these sins. I'll guarantee you'll be writing, your hand will get tired writing down social media. You know, I went to America, New York. One of the questions that I was asked was, can you advise me how to stop following women on Instagram? And can you say to me how I can fix my sick heart or something because I keep following these ladies? It's a genuine question. And everyone started laughing, and then you got these TikTok tigers, they take clips like that and then they follow all over TikTok. Inshallah, you guys will delete TikTok as well. I hate TikTok, guys. I'm against it. All you guys are probably going to say, oh, I'm all over TikTok. I never asked you on TikTok. I never asked you on TikTok, guys. على كل حال. People sometimes, when I talk to them about social media, they talk to me as if social media has become one of the necessities of life and that you can't do without. Let me ask you a question. Can you do without Facebook? Can you do without Instagram? Can you do without TikTok? Wallahi we can. Stop telling yourself that this has now become an integral part of your life and you can't do without it. You can do without it. If that now is causing you to sin, to fall into all of this filth, you have to find a way to cut it off. And I say this to my sisters as well. My sisters, stop following some of these Instagram influencers that are female. Oh, but I can look at women. Yes, you can, but not if they're going to affect you in the way you think and shape your mindset. Are you going to begin to feel as if, oh, I need to stop being like that? Believe it or not, my sisters and my brothers, we are behaving and conducting ourselves in a certain way simply because of these girls that we keep on looking at. Allah didn't just tell us to lower our gaze from the opposite gender. He also told our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَلَا تَمُدَّنَّ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِّنْهُمْ زَهْرَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا لِنَفْتِنَهُمْ فِيهِ. Allah tells the Prophet, stop laying your eyes on all of these pleasures of this world, these glitters and garments. Stop. If you see a nice car now, guys, what are you going to do? Allah, their brothers, they put me in a hotel. I told them they shouldn't have done that. Where's Sheikh Said? And then I walk outside, there's all these Ferraris there. I thought I walked into where the Southampton players live. على كل حال, you had all these cars, Ferraris. Like, where am I? And then all these yachts. Don't go to the hotel, guys. Don't. May Allah bless the brothers, they're very kind. Anyways, I looked at these cars and then I remembered the verse. Where Allah Azza wa Jalla told our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam not to lay his eyes on the pleasures of this world. So I looked down. I looked away from this lovely looking Ferrari. It wasn't even one, there was like 4 or 5 there. ماذا حصل? What happened? But what normally happens when you keep on looking at these things? What does it do to your heart, guys? You begin to crave it. And my sisters likewise, you begin to crave looking like all of these glamorous girls. You know, in the Emirates, I've seen a statistic where 70% of those sisters who got plastic surgery done, it was due to social media influence. She goes, no, 70%, nose job, face job, lip job. What they do now is they inject their lips to make it bigger. All that stuff that they do. 70% of those who got plastic surgery done was due to social media influence. Looking at these girls, that are extremely glamorous, those girls that society today has idolized and made as the ideal woman to be. Sahih? They're looking at it and they're gazing at it. And then what happens, my brothers and my sisters? Subconsciously, you start craving it. Subconsciously, you start craving this car if you keep on looking at it. And then if you can't have it due to a lack of finances, what happens, brothers and sisters? You don't have the money, what do you do? Finance, you might end up doing haram, interest, loan, riba, whatever it might be. Or you might end up doing a daily robbery. Sahih? That's why Allah told His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to not lay his eyes on these things. You know how many people that I know, family members as well, they went to someone's house, they saw such a nice house that they have, because they couldn't afford it, they went and took a loan out. That's what they done. And then their lives just went downhill. Miserable. That's what sin does to you. So anyways, I went on a little bit there. Guys, stop following these people. Number one, if you're still having issues, delete that Instagram app. Right? If you're still having problems and you keep getting tempted to re-download it, brothers and sisters, it might well be time to turn towards that shop phone. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. There's a brother who was addicted to whatever might be adult content, and I told him, brother, get rid of your phone. A couple of months after that, I came to his masjid. After the lecture, I ran out because I had another brother came running behind me and he said, look, the guy had a brick phone. He said, from the time I stopped using a smartphone, I did not go back to adult content. Wallahi alayhi. Do that, guys. At least for 21 days. Psychologists, they say if you want to get rid of something, a bad habit, you need 21 days. Some say 25. Allahu a'lam. اختلف العلماء حوله. He promises with me. You have to detach yourself from that which keeps dragging you back to that sin. He promises with me. You can do it. Stop being in denial that you can't. Stop it, guys. Wallahi, we can do it. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on going in circles and circles and circles. I met a brother in Australia. He said, oh, mashallah, you came, man. This is like 12 days into the trip. I'm only there for another 24 hours. He goes, when did you come? I thought I came yesterday. 12 days. He goes, when's your program? I said, there's one tonight. You know why he's behaving like that? That guy doesn't have a phone. He said to me, wallahi, ever since I got rid of my phone, I couldn't have felt any better in my life. Wallahi, he says to me, I couldn't have felt any better. So guys, we still have another 10 days, 11 days. These are some very, very important components that I went through. Okay? And I'm hoping, inshallah ta'ala, you guys are going to practically apply. Shaharullah. Guys, 5 more minutes. I want to mainly address some of our sisters. Okay, and you guys are brothers as well. Quickly, everyone stand up. 30 seconds and sit back down.